Let's go, let's go, let's go. Everyone, welcome out to the Monday Morning Mindset and Mastermind. I am excited to be hosting these every single week. And what an amazing time it is right now in the world. And I really want to talk about some very, very important things today on this Monday Mindset and Mastermind. All of you, this is our team mastermind that we do. And I'm also airing this publicly as well for people to really get a framework when it comes to success, when it comes to a belief model, when it comes just to the basics of what you need to do. Okay, if you're excited to be here this morning, give me a yes in all caps in the chat box, and I want to jump right into this. Okay, I know a lot of people have seen me out this last week. Last Monday, I did not do this call, and the reason why is my grandfather actually passed away, and I took a week out just for the simple fact of, it absolutely devastated me. My grandfather and I had a bond like I have with no one else in the world. From the person that taught me music, from the person that taught me ministry, from the person that taught me how to love people that I felt like didn't deserve to be loved. I was absolutely just blessed to have such an amazing role model and legend, in my life. And it's really hard, sometimes to keep moving when things are hard. Okay, give me a 1 in the chat box if you agree that sometimes it's really hard to be motivated and it's really hard to push when things are tough, right? When you're, this last week, I cried more this last week than I've cried probably in my entire life, but there was this push, and I want to talk about it this morning. There was something that was revealed to me in that moment. And experiencing this, being with my family, there was something that was really revealed to me. And I felt so clearly this picture and this just revelation kind of being revealed to me when it comes to legacy, right? When it comes to doing something amazing in this world, there is a reality that at some point, everything that you've done in your life, right, is what your family is ultimately going to follow and what you have to pass down, right? When I looked at my grandfather's life from ministry, he's at Rockabilly Hall of Fame. His records are still out. Just absolutely amazing. And I'm so thankful just that I got this time with him, and we had such a close relationship my whole entire life from the moment I was born. But I really want you guys to understand something, and this is what I want to key in on this morning, is the life you live is the legacy that you're able to pass on and the new floor that you create for your family. I'll say this, my grandfather lived in such a way that his floor or his ceiling, it becomes my floor, right? And this is where we now move forward as a family. Okay, I want you to hear me carefully. What you do in your life, what you build, right? That becomes the floor for your family. What you want to do is you want to build a ceiling that is massive. You want to build a legacy. So when you pass away, you have something massive to pass on to your family, from values, from memories, and this is a big one, from money, generational wealth. See, my grandfather was not a wealthy man financially. He was a pastor. But what he did do is open up my eyes in such a way, and I got to learn from that. And everything that I learned from that, I then got to apply now with my life when it comes to money and also values at the same point. It's very important that we get to a place as people that we don't take this life for granted. Okay, this is a reality that all of us really need to understand. We are all going to die at some point. I remember looking at my grandfather after it happened, and being there right by his bedside. And I just felt so clearly like the mantle was being passed on, and I want you guys to understand that in order for us to go to new levels, there's times where moments are going to be hard, but these are the moments that elevate us into success. Okay, are you hearing me right now? These moments right here, that pain, the legacy that was built, the life that was built, that is what accelerates us and all the future generations into the future. And I want to talk to you all a minute about just the basic foundation of being human. Okay? There's one thing that I learned from my grandfather that I'm beyond thankful for, and that's we as human beings, we lack absolutely nothing. Okay? It's so amazing. And I believe it's Confucius. He said, a person that believes he can and a person that believes he can't, both are right. What I found in this life is when it comes to creating legacy, when it comes to creating success, when it comes to creating something of value to pass on, right? Because the goal is not to just have income while we live, it's to have income that gets to live beyond us, right? Give me a yes in the chat box if you want to have something amazing to leave your family, right? From real estate, from millions of dollars, right? From values that you taught them, ethics that you showed them. You lived a life in such a way that your family said, I want to be like that, right? I know a lot of people just are not living in that light yet, okay? And I want to talk to you about something just from the basic foundation as being a human, okay? I believe personally that all of us were created from this divine source. Okay. And this divine source did not just create us and leave us. This divine source is the very DNA and the thing that makes our heart beat. Okay. We cannot lose this image because it is the very image we were created in. Are you guys hearing me right now? So my question to you is, if you were created by the divine and you were full of the divine, whether you recognize it or not, would all of you agree that how can you be full of the divine and then lack something? So all of you agree with me right now that you actually lack absolutely nothing, right? And you may be wondering, Josh, why is it that you're talking about this right now? And I want to make it very clear. This is why I do what I do. Just being motivated for money is not enough. There has to be something deeper inside that is being awakened. There has to be something that causes you to wake up every morning, not just because you have to get up, but because you are excited about living life today, right? Because you have something to go after today that is actually special to you. It's really unfortunate how many people live a life that they don't love, right? It's really unfortunate how many people have no idea how powerful they are. You know, when you look throughout history and you see people that accomplish great things, I want to let you know that they're no different than you and I. They just believed that they could and they did it, right? I remember sitting in history class back in 7th grade, and the teacher was going around the room asking, what do you want to be? One person was like, I want to be a professional football player. Another person was like, I want to be a teacher. Another person was like, I want to be an astronaut, right? All the common things that you hear people say. And when they got to me and the teacher said, Josh, what do you want to be when you grow up? And this was in history class. I said, I'm going to be someone that you're going to read about in history. And the whole entire class just started laughing. And I responded at that moment. You know, the crazy part, and I said this out loud in front of everybody, you know, the crazy thing is, I wouldn't expect anything less than for all of you to laugh. Because what person in history was not doubted before they made it happen? You may not believe that you will ever be someone of massive value and importance, but I would dare say that that's probably the thing that's keeping you from that, right? Belief, vision, and understanding who you are and what you're worth as a human being has to be at the core of why you do what you do, okay? It has to be something bigger than I'm just a part of this to be a part of this. Are you all following me right now? Is somebody getting something out of this? This is the foundation of your humanity, that you were created absolutely amazing, lacking nothing. But then we have grown up in a society that's convinced us that being average is normal, that not winning is normal, that just making it by is normal. And I want to let you know that it is just not. Being broke is not normal. I want you to write that in the chat box right now. Being broke is not normal. I'm serious, write that. Being broke is not normal. I want you guys to begin to confess over yourself, to begin to declare over yourself that I was made for abundance. And it is my time right now to experience that. I was made for abundance, and right now it's my time to begin to experience that. Okay, I'm going to let you know that it's not just about saying these things though. Okay, you literally have to believe these things. And it's not just one day I said it, therefore it's about to happen. No, this is a belief that every single day you begin to confess these things. And then you know how you know that someone believes something? They then do something about it. All right. I'm telling you, this is a moment that you will begin to shift if you will then first change what you believe about yourself so you can empower yourself to go and be different. You know, there's people in your life that have talked down to you, that said you couldn't do it, that you would never be anything, that, well, you're not smart enough to do that. I want to let you guys know, I dropped out of high school and I only finished because my mom begged me to. And I finished through homeschool. I dropped out of high school because I was so tired of listening to the nonsense that was being taught. And I want to make it clear, like, I wasn't making bad grades in school. I made okay grades. I made good grades in most classes other than science. But there was this thing about it that I just knew that this was not going to lead me to be wealthy. I recognized at a very young age that the environment that we are growing up in, the educational system that we have been handed by the older generations, it's from the 60s. It's outdated, right? They're still talking about the industrial age. You know, and we are living in a new time. So when you begin to understand the value of what I'm worth and the fact then that we're not provided with the right information, we then have to go and begin the journey of seeking truth. I want you to write in the chat box, seeking truth. Okay, this is very, very important. The journey of truth seeking should lead you to the life of abundance. There's a lot of people, especially in the spiritual world, that believe like you don't have to be rich in life. I'm not saying you have to be rich. I'm just saying you're going to have a much better experience being rich. Okay? Being poor doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help you, and you can't help anybody. You know, I told people that if you do not become successful, you are literally keeping back what God put inside you to give to the world. The dreams that you want to accomplish, what do you need to make it happen? Money. And beyond money, what's the next thing that you need? Time. Without money, you don't have time because you're giving it away to get money. Are you hearing me right now? You got to understand first that I am worth it. I want you to write in the chat box, I am worth it. My dreams, my desires, my goals, my hopes, I am worth it. You were not created to live a life of lack. You were not created to live a life of just wondering if you are of any importance and you have any value. Of course you are. Do you know who your daddy is? The divine source of this world is your daddy. Everything that you ever need has already been given to you. And I like to hammer this out for a second, and you can't just pray for it. Listen to me. You cannot just pray for it. God is not a fairy godmother, right? Has anybody seen that show, like the Fairy Godmothers, or whatever show that was on Nickelodeon, where he wishes something and boom, makes it happen? That's not how this works. Okay? The way that this works is we are partnered, we are connected, we are one with this. Fairly Odd Parents. Thank you so much, Danielle. That show, right? Oh, make this happen. Doing, it happens. Oh, drop a bunch of money. Doing, it happens. That's not how this works. Okay? How many of you have been praying for things that have just not happened yet? Give me a 1 in the chat box if you've been praying for things that have just not happened yet. And I would like to suggest to you that there is a certain way. Listen to me carefully. I want everyone to type in the chat box, manifest. Write manifest in the chat box, because I want to take you from somewhere, or from a place of just wishing, hoping, spitting words out in the sky, to actually being able to manifest it, right? When I went from praying and begging to doing, agreeing, believing, and then achieving, everything changed, right? I would like to convince you of something really quickly, and this is not just a regular business conversation. This is the Monday Mindset and Mastermind, okay? So this is a little bit deeper, the stuff that we talk about. It's not just business. I would like to suggest something to all of you, that prayer is not about getting God to do something. It's about you beginning to believe what is true. Listen to me very, very clearly. Praying is not about getting God to do something for you. It's about you beginning to believe the truth. Okay? So what is the next step of manifestation? You doing what it takes. You have to become the person. Listen to me. You have to become the person of what it is that you desire. Okay? You want to be successful? Guess what? You got to start changing what you're doing. You got to start changing what you're reading. You got to start changing what you're believing. You got to start changing the avenues of which you have been doing what you have been doing in order to bring about change. Somebody say in the chat box, in order to change, you got to change. Right now in the chat box, in order to change, you got to change. It's amazing to me, the people that complain about not having what they want, but they refuse to do anything different to get it. You got to become the person before the manifestation happens. You got to believe it before it happens. Okay? This isn't magic. This is practical reality. In order for anything to change, you must begin to change. You got to put and do something different, right? Your daily habits. Write this in the chat box. Success is about habits. What is it you do on a daily basis? Okay? Success is about habits. You do not have to be that great to be successful. I want to make this very clear. You do not have to be that great to be successful. You just got to be consistent. And you got to begin to believe this and then go and do this. Okay? I like to put it like this. The reason why you are where you are right now is because of what you know and what you're doing. I need you guys to hear me right now. There is nobody else in the world to blame but yourself. And if you want to continue to put the blame on other people for why you're not where you're at, I would like to suggest that you will then, for the rest of your life, be under the power of everybody else's opinions and not what you can do. Someone say it's not someone else's fault. When you take full responsibility for your life and you put it in your hands and you take the reins, you then know that you can do and achieve anything, because you're not waiting for anybody to tell you that you can do it. You're just going and doing it. When you take the power, when you become responsible, you can bring about change a lot faster. Say this right now. Stop giving my power away. You can't afford to give your power away. You have the full energy, the full everything. You are packed full and loaded with the divine. Everything you ever need is already inside of you. You just have to believe it and then manifest it, right? Why is Warren Buffett where he is? What he knows, what he does. Why are other people that are successful right now where they are? What they know, what they do. Why are you where you're at right now? What you know, what you do. Are you guys hearing me right now? These are the only two things you have to change from an L to then turn into a big win. What you know, what you do. It's practical. It's habitual. It's a daily journey of understanding that if I am committed to my success, I must grow. Think about how much they tried to make us grow in school and all of the information that they taught us. What if we then would put that same effort into actually learning what can make us wealthy? And I'm here to let you know, as someone that loves talking about spirituality, you got to have money. People need to open up the conversation of money so much more because they're not talking about it. And how can people change or do what they don't know? That's why I love what we do when it comes to teaching people how to trade in the Forex markets, when it comes to teaching people how to be entrepreneurs, how to learn how to go out and share something with people that can actually change their lives and help them out at the same time, because you're giving someone an actual vehicle that they can take control of. Okay? It's very, very important for you to understand that in order for you to have the impact that you desire to have on people, you need to be more successful. Who agrees that no one likes listening to broke people when it comes to money? Right? Like, hey, what do you think about this? The question is, are you qualified to talk about it? You know, and this isn't a situation, and I talked about this at the Houston event that we did, that it's not something that you should feel less than because you aren't there yet. Right? That should be the thing that motivates you to push you to level up. You're either going to do it in life or you're not. It really is that simple. You're going to spend the rest of your life living an example that you want your family to follow, or you're going to live a life that when you get to your deathbed, you're going to say, I wish I would have done that. I want to let you know something. You know how I know that my grandfather lived such a full and complete life? 2 days before he passed away, we asked him, is there anything that you want us to pray for? Anything that you want, anything that you need? And he looked at us and said, absolutely nothing. I'm happy. And I just broke down in tears, because that is so beautiful. Because I watched this man pour out his entire life in the service of people, in loving people, in showing people the way. And now we get to take that as an example and run with that. So maybe you did not have that example in your family. Maybe this is the moment that you get to become that. Maybe you get to become the leader for your family because of what you do. There's a lot of people that want that, like, I wish my family would follow me. The question is, what are you doing for them to follow? Right? There's a lot of you that want a lot of attention on social media, that want to be followed. But the question is, what is it that you're bringing of value to give to people? Right? I say it all the time. I really don't care about social media very much. The only reason why I do it is because that's a way that we build income, we impact people, and we help people. Right? But it's important for you to understand, and someone else said it, it's not my quote, but if you do not come from a family of millionaires, you should be the first millionaire in your family. Right? If you don't come from a family that's successful, you should be the next successful person in your family. Until someone breaks out of the box, you and your family will always stay in the box. Why am I so passionate about awakening people? Because I hate watching people suffer. I hate watching people that have dreams, desires, live their whole life miserable. And there are people that have actually been convinced that just being average and making it through is normal. And it's just simply not. I'll never applaud someone being average. I'll never applaud someone being mediocre. I'll say, look, this is great what you've done so far, but you got to keep going. Write it in the chat box right now. I have to keep going. I cannot stop right here, because if I stop here, I'll never get here. And what I know about, if I never get here, now I put my family way back before they can ever get there. It's time to launch our families. It's time to launch ourselves into new heights. But it is practical, daily, habitual action that brings about that change. You have no choice but to keep going. You hear me right now? You got to look yourself in the mirror and say, enough is enough. No more excuses. I can lay in that bed and I can cry about my grandfather, or I can go and make his legacy continue to happen. Right? You got to get up. It's not easy. You're going to go through hell at times. You're going to go through pain at times. But that is what is creating you to be the warrior that you are, to achieve what you're looking to achieve. Right? We got to wake up. We got to go to another level. What you're doing right now, you got to do more and be better. Level up, grow up. It's a good thing. It's positioning you to become the person to have everything that you want. If you keep wishing for things and they don't happen, there's probably a reason. Are you hearing me? And here's the biggest part that then you have to add to it. You got to stay persistent and consistent. You got to keep pushing every day. The championship is not won the first day. Are you hearing me right now? You got to keep fighting. We're going through the season right now. All right. This isn't the playoffs yet. We're going through the season right now. We got to go. We got to grind. Have you ever seen an athlete that didn't stay in shape, that didn't work out all the time, and then expect to be at a top level on the field or on the court? No. You got to condition yourself for success. Okay? You got to learn how to manage your time. You got to learn how to be organized, because if you don't, you're just putting yourself behind. And again, who is it to blame? You. I all the time look at myself and analyze where I'm at and what I'm doing and say, what can I do better? Let me make this clear. You do not condemn yourself for not being successful yet. You do not look down upon yourself for not being successful, but you do analyze yourself and be honest enough to help you get to the next level. To ignore what you're doing wrong is to keep yourself from being successful. You're not a bad person because you're not successful. You're not a piece of shit because you're not successful. You just got to level up so you can be successful, because it's what you were created for. It's like someone that was born into a royal family, but they just didn't know it yet. Therefore, guess what? Because they did not know it yet, they did not live like they were royal. Isn't it amazing what can happen to an awakened mind? How a person can go from almost achieving nothing to achieving the world because of the difference of what they believe and how they move. It's not a secret. Write it in the chat box. Success is not a secret. Okay? I see Danielle just put in the chat box, we will know the truth and the truth will set us free. What I love about that word know right there, in the actual language that it was written in, that word know right there is not just knowledge. Listen to me. That word know, you've seen the passage, you shall know the truth and the truth will set you free. Not the truth will set you free, but you shall know. And that word know means not only just knowledge, but also experience. Okay, you can have a philosophy of something, but until you experience it, it is not real to you. You can only teach people what you have been through, or you're only teaching theories, not your reality. Are you hearing me right now? That word know means to experience and to then take the knowledge aspect and marry them together, and then you can be free. Are you hearing me? This is absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. You were created for so much more than what you're experiencing right now. I want you to write in the chat box, I was made for more. I was made for more. All right, now the next part that I want all of you to put now in the chat box is, I will not settle. Right now, I will not settle. There's some of you right now that I really feel in my heart right now that this is really hitting you. I really feel like some of you right now are about to have a massive awakening like you've never had before. Okay, and I'm going to let you know that you are going to get uncomfortable, that you are going to be put in positions that you may say, whoa, I don't think I was ready for that, but go at it full force, because it is not time to pull back. Okay, this is a time that you push and you push and you push, and you will find yourself before long where you want to be and further, right? So much more than you can ask and imagine, but it does not happen without action. And let me take it a step further, daily action. Because every day, listen to me, every day that you delay, you are compounding the time in a negative way. You may have never heard that before. Every day, I'm going to pull out my note on that one. I need you guys to write this down. Every day you delay, you are having time compound against you. Okay, I had a couple people I saw in the chat ask what my IG and Facebook is. There you go, just for those who asked. But listen, this is so important right now. Time will either work in your favor Who's hearing me right now? Time will either work in your favor or against you. The same way your money will either work in your favor or against you. You know, this stuff's really not a secret. It's just that we have not been taught this. You know, I say it often, it's because wealthy people don't like to teach broke people their secrets. But for me, this is just common truth. It's just not so common that people know the truth. Are you guys hearing me right now? Like, this is what motivates me so much to wake up every day and to continue to get on these Zoom calls, to continue to serve the team every single day, because I know what it was like before I began to awaken. And I know that life now is so much more beautiful than it was back then because of the way that I see life. And I would like to encourage you, if you'll change the lenses through what you see, and you'll begin to position yourself in a higher place from your thinking and your actions, you'll find yourself positioned in a higher place in life. Okay? And I would like to make it very clear, money very heavily dictates how you live this life. You know, and the people that want to fight against money, I want to let you know that what's important right now is the people that do have good desires and dreams, that they get money in their hands quickly. Who would agree with me that there's a lot of people that do have money that don't do good things with it? But who agrees all the people that want to do good things in the world, they need money in order to go do it? So why is it that we're so quick to throw the baby out with the bathwater, rather than recognizing that in everything in life, there are people that will abuse things and there are people that will do good with things? Okay? And when it comes to money, we have to understand that money is not good or evil. Money is a tool in which we're able to live and move in this life. It has nothing to do with good and evil. We got to stop thinking like that. What is either good and evil is how we treat people, and either we love people or we harm people. That's where the line is drawn in the sand for me when it comes to ethics. Is what you're doing helping someone or harming someone? Okay? When it comes to money, that's not even in the equation of talking about good and evil. Okay? If you can deal with the ethics of the people that are getting the money, at that point, we can do something beautiful with the money. Like, I would love to see world hunger end. I would love to see poverty absolutely removed, but it's not going to happen overnight. And it's not going to happen until a group of people get obsessed enough with making a difference in the world, where we're not just talking about change, but we're giving people the ability to actually change something. We have to stop just wishing things would change in the world. We got to stop blaming politicians. I cannot wait for this election to be over because I'm so tired of hearing the back and forth stuff. Would all of us just be really honest to agree that there's a lot more of us than there are politicians? Right? Give me a 1 in the chat box if you can do simple math. There's a lot more people in the world than politicians. Therefore, the reason why the world is the way that it is because of what the people are doing, how the people are living, how the people are treating one another. It doesn't matter what the politicians say. If we as humans came together, there's nothing that could stop us. If we as humans were there for each other, there's nothing that could stop us. I said it earlier, we have to stop giving our power away. If we want communities to look different, we as the communities have to change. If we want our finances to look different in the communities, we as a community have to level up what we know about money and what we do about money. We got to start telling people how valuable they are. We have to start believing this truth, because how can you share the truth if you don't even believe it? And how can you manifest something you don't believe? So with that being said, I want to wrap up this Monday morning mindset and mastermind. Every single Monday, we are going to be doing these. And I'm here to let you know right now that this is a moment that you become the person that you were created to be. This is not a moment to sleep on your future. This is not that moment. You got to understand, we are living in one of the most, how do I even put this? We are living in one of the most interesting times that we could ever live in. I believe right now that we're about to see either a massive amount of people get really successful or a massive amount of people get really, really poor. You know, I'll talk about this really next week, but the line right now, when it comes to poor and rich, is massively separating. That gap is massively increasing. And I'm here to let you know that this is not a time to let that continue to happen. You want to close the gap, change what you do, and let's begin to inspire people and show people that there is another way. Write this in the chat box. There is a better way. And I believe that with Paid to Live and what we're doing here, that we're really leading people in such a way that it's not just a company that we have going on here with Epic, but we have a group of people that are committed to being humans and helping humans realize how beautiful life can be from our value, from our worth, and just what we can actually accomplish. I am convinced that we are powerful beyond measure. We are so powerful. And together we are the most powerful. And this is why the system is so beat and put so much effort in to keep us separate. This is why the news, the propaganda, it's constantly aiming to divide us, because when we are divided, we are not powerful. How can you multiply where there's division? Pay attention. I'll see you on the next Monday morning Mindset and Mastermind. Love you all so much. Make sure to connect with me online. If you enjoyed this, feel free to drop a message in my inbox. I would love to know, once you begin to write these things down, and how they actually change your life when you apply them. Okay, so much love to all you. JFelts is out. I will see you soon. Monday is an amazing day to make your dreams reality. Okay, don't sit back on Monday. Let's go make it happen. Talk soon. Bye.